Hey everybody, my name is Ashley. Welcome back to my City State Kitchen. This morning we're going to be making some powdered greens together. Greens powder can be used in a variety of things. Almost every single health recommendation says more greens, more vegetable. More greens, more vegetables. And this is just another way to do that. We like to put it in smoothies as our favorite go-to because you can just put in a little, you can put in a lot depending on the smoothie. I've also started adding it to things like guacamole and dips, especially the guacamole. It's already green. If it's a kind of food that you want to boost with just more vitamins and nutrients, but you're not sure that you want that extra flavor, you just add less. And I feel like any added boost of nutrition is going to be better. Usually when I make my greens powder, I make just plain spinach, and this is the last of the jar that we have. When I do 1 pound of raw spinach this way, it doesn't even come to the half a cup, maybe right around a half a cup of powder, just to let you know how incredibly potent this is. A teaspoon of the powder makes at least about a cup of greens, which is phenomenal. And the reason I like dehydrating is because it does it on a lower temperature. A lot of times when, especially working with sort of more tender vegetables, when you cook them and that heat breaks down some of those nutrients that are so important for us. For the first time, I'm gonna try doing a mix of greens today, and we're gonna work on drying some collard greens, some kale, and then of course some spinach too. And I'm gonna mix them all together as one sort of mixed greens powder. So let's just get started. Okay, the first green I'm going to work on are these collard greens. I think this is going to be kind of fun because they're so big. It's going to be really easy to get these in a dehydrator. So I'm going to go ahead and take this fibrous stem off. I think I'm just going to leave these smaller ones for now. Okay, I did turn this up from 150 to 160, and it's only been going for about an hour. And you can tell how shriveled this has become and done. In fact, I think it is done. I was a little concerned about the stems, but they dried up beautifully. So I can probably get this ground up right now. This jar holds 1 cup, and the greens didn't even make a 1/4 cup of this. So that is an entire, I guess, bunch of collard greens boiled down to between an 1/8 and a 1/4 cup. All right, here we go. We didn't even fill all the trays this time. Now, a lot of times when I mix things in my Vitamix and there's not a lot of volume, it kind of has a hard time mixing because the blades can't get to it. But because this is so dry and airy, you can just, as you saw when I blended it, it's like a tornado in there. So even though there's not a lot, it's easy to get it to blend up. Now this blended up a lot easier and smoother than the collard greens because it didn't have those stems. And I actually used a little sieve here I started by using a fork to try to pull out some of those stems, and it just wasn't working. So I went ahead, and I didn't think this would work, but it actually worked beautifully. So I just kind of got those harder pieces out. If we're going to have it in some things where it's not really well mixed, like sometimes I throw it in guacamole and things like that, we don't want to have those fibrous pieces. Now we have the collards and the kale in here, and we are still not up to a half a cup. That's amazing. That's about a third of a cup now, I would say. This spinach is so incredibly thin compared to the other things we've been drying that it just dries in no time. And I can easily fit over half a pound of spinach on my trays. But this is only, I think, about 6 ounces, so I'm just gonna I'm not gonna pack it on too heavy. And there we have it. Our mixed green powder is completely done and ready for use. We really won't use more than a teaspoon of this at a time for most of the recipes that we use it for, but it is going to give us a great boost in nutrition from that little measurement without adding liquid, bulk, or much of any flavor to our food. Thank you for being here while I worked on this kitchen project. If you'd like to come along for more kitchen projects, all you have to do is subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.